Business.
Live. It is Tuesday night. Now, I begged and begged to take the lead on this one because joining us tonight is a very, very good friend of mine and very inspirational, talented singer, songwriter, model, and more importantly, my friend, Erin Incoherent. Welcome to the show. It's so good to see you.
It's nice to see you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the show.
Absolutely. We're so thrilled to have you here. It was about 6 or so years ago where I heard you on the radio and, just hearing you being so inspirational, and I connected instantly with the music, and I'm like, we have to have her on this show and we have to just hang out and talk with somebody so amazing and talented. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Sweet.
You're
Yes.
welcome. You're welcome. So, we are very, very interested in, when our guests come in, we love to hear about your roots, where you started, where you came from. So take us back to day one. When did you decide that you wanted to do this? What inspired you to pursue what you're doing now?
I've always sang. I've always written lyrics. So it's just kind of like a compulsion, something I always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it took off when I was in maybe summer 6th grade or going into 7th grade. I was on a Girl Scout trip, and one of the girls in my troop brought a American Idiot Green Day album, and I swear to God, I hijacked her Discman the whole trip. And I came back a changed person, and it's like that's what I want to do. I want to do it like that, and so I asked for a guitar that Christmas, and I got an acoustic guitar. And I didn't know what that was, and I was like, that's bullshit. That's not what they play. That's not what I wanted. It kind of wasn't the Green Day vision I had in my head. But I started with it. And at that time I was listening to, it was like my music taste was coming from what I heard on the radio growing up with my parents driving around, and also starting to develop my own style. At that time I was getting really into the emo music too. And kind of the indie offshoots of that, like Death Cab for Cutie and the Shins, and the kind of more melodic stuff. And then when I listened to Green Day, then it just became infused with punk rock and opened the door to way punk rock, the 80s hardcore, all that shit. And started my own punk band. So I got my electric guitar dreams recognized, and I always really liked being in a band too. There's definitely power to being on stage as an electric musician, being backed. But bandmates, I felt there were times in the band where our passions weren't lining up, and so opportunities were slipping through the cracks, and it was difficult to manage that because I wanted to keep going and had this momentum. So I continued to play acoustic solo because it's the band I could control everything really with.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is something that's followed me around wherever I go. And now these days, I only pursue my acoustic music. When I'm in studio producing now, we do it full bands because I've always liked that. But it's my brand and style is the acoustic stuff too. It's,
Mm-hmm.
I never felt like the acoustic guitar held me back from being able to do what I can do in a band. So it's when I play these songs, I can hear them as a band in my head, but there is just something very, I don't know, piercing about just the acoustic and the vocals. So, yes. I love it.
It's more intimate. It's more personal. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, the content, what you put out there, I mean, you take that from real life situations. I mean, how much more personal can that be? You and just your acoustic guitar, right?
Right.
Yeah. And that's a subject, if we're talking about this off the air, we're very vocal about, mental health struggles and stuff. So tell us kind of, I mean, it's a difficult thing to come out with. I know there's, oh, come on now.
Phone's on silent, Mistress. Did she fucking mute us?
I think so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you too busy?
Yeah, it must be an important call she's expecting or something. So we'll continue. Yeah, we'll get you on your phone. Yeah. So who inspired you?
Hey guys, we have somebody real quick that wants to say hi.
Sure.
the Divine Beast? Who is this?
Hello, this is the Divine Beast himself.
What?
Armagellion.
Hey, hi, Armagellion.
Making his debut on Mistress Business. So since I've got Armagellion on the line, why don't we tell everybody, follow Armagellion on Instagram, follow on Facebook, follow on YouTube especially. We want to get those numbers back up, right?
Woo!
Follow Armageddon everywhere. Thank you so much to my amazing herald, Kandi. So
Yeah! Woo!
Thank you so much. We'll connect in a bit.
None of this could be possible without Kandi, so thank you so much.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry and I'm on the air. That's not good. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Listen. So thank you for chiming in, but I'll connect with you in a little bit, and we'll talk some business. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Go break your leg.
I will. All right. Bye. So sorry, Erin. Like I was saying, I mean, mental health is something that people struggle to talk about, and you've taken it to, new steps and new heights when you're putting that into your music and pouring your soul out in that way. Tell us about that journey and how you got there.
I'm diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and chronic depression, and it's something that I've experienced. So for people who might not know what borderline personality disorder is, or kind of how it's characterized, it's very extreme and very rapid emotional cycles. So sometimes it can be described like bipolar, and I'm not I don't have bipolar, so I'm not trying to speak from experience, but they have longer bouts. So you can have, 2 to 14 days of mania before 2 to 14 days of depression or something like that. BP, you can do that in an hour, in a half hour. And, so and a lot of people with BPD, or I think it's an 11 to 13% of people who are diagnosed with BPD commit suicide. So it's a higher risk factor for people who are diagnosed with it. And they're known to find anger and neutral emotions more quickly than people without the diagnosis. So things like that can contribute to higher anxiety. And a lot of people with BPD will self-mutilate. It's kind of one of the markers when they're starting to give a diagnosis for that. And
when you say mutilate, are you talking about self-harm, or is that something different?
Yeah. So cutting yourself, burning yourself, hair pulling, physical manifestations of that. And I mean, maybe, I don't know if things I know that binge eating and purging can be different coping mechanisms or strategies for people with BPD too. So there's definitely overlap into a lot of other mental health diagnoses. But ever since I was a child, I've had really, really intense emotional episodes that would last for a really long time. So if my family members came to visit and they left to go back home, I'd cry forever,
Oh, yeah.
So, and that can be things that are marked by childhood trauma or just genetic. They don't really necessarily know what, but I mean, if you're asking me personally, I do think that genetics play a part in it. I do see other members of my family who exhibit similar symptoms to it. And there's a lot of similarities between BPD and narcissistic personality disorder. So there's just things that I find very I've learned a lot since getting diagnosed. But when I was a kid having these huge emotional episodes, I began self-mutilating in elementary school, just with pulling out my eyelashes and stuff. And then when I got to junior high, starting to cut, starting to burn. And when I got into high school, it was when I graduated high school is when I started drinking. And the drinking kind of replaced the self-mutilation. But in addition to self-harm, I had music as a way to cope. So music was kind of the way that I could be honest about the intense emotions I was experiencing and the ways that they were presenting. So it was kind of like, it was not an option to be dishonest about it. It was another way. It was like I could cut myself or I could write a song, and sometimes you do both, like it seemed, because even nowadays, like I have the intense emotions, I'm dealing with them differently. I have different tools in my arsenal now. And I'm just trying to make sure that art remains one of them, whether it's music or poetry or even because now it's easy when you start to get older and you have access to things like drugs and alcohol, to blur and cope like that. And that can also still lead you back to self-mutilation or the suicidal thoughts and that kind of stuff. So just trying to make sure I'm leaning into, again, art as a tool, because it has been a coping tool for me too my whole life.
That's amazing. I mean, and like I told you 6 years ago when I first talked to you, I mean, what a strong person you are to embrace who you are as a person and what you deal with day in and day out, and to make it into something positive, like turning a negative into a positive, right? I mean, beautiful music that you create that helps so many people like myself, deal with everyday struggles just like you do. So, I mean, kudos to you. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, big hearts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, do you have a musical background? Like, I know you asked for a guitar for Christmas. Did any of your family members play anything? Were they into music as well?
So my uncle is actually the first person who ever put a guitar in my hands. We didn't live in the same state, so it was like when I went down to see him for a holiday, and he's very musically inclined. He's incredibly talented with the instrument. He doesn't sing like nobody else. My little sister sings. She's like, sounds like Amy Winehouse, just incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But then as far as I play guitar, but nobody else in my family plays guitar other than my uncle and myself. But they're all just artists in their own right. Whether it's like drawing or skateboarding or whatever they do, they're just excellent at it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And how about, are you self-taught or did you take lessons? Like, how did that work out?
Okay, so when I started, my mom got me into, it's called the Piano Institute, and I went for, I don't even know, 4 lessons or something, but they were teaching me how to read sheet music, and I can't remember what, I think maybe it was after 4 weeks, Mom was like, do you like this? And I was like, it's not what I had envisioned for myself. I just wanted to walk in and be a rock star. So this dude was, I think, Harley, the motorcycle, and he was rock and roll dude, and had a shaved head, and knew all these heavy metal classic rock songs, and he fucking had me come in, and he taught me tablature, and I think I only went to him for 2 or 3 lessons, because once you learn how to read tablature, it opens up a lot of other doors. So I don't know music theory or anything like that. I don't know how to read music. I know how to read tabs. I know a lot of chords. Otherwise, I do just if I put a guitar on capo third, I don't know what key it's in. I don't know what chords I'm playing, but I know how to play it, if that makes sense. I just kind of follow melody.
Yeah, I know what you mean. My brother plays guitar, and he, Mom, if you're watching, please help me out with this one. But I think he knows how to read tabs. I've seen him play over the years. I don't think he knows how to read the music, but he can play tabs. That's what I know. And he's incredibly talented too. He can, that dude can shred. He can look at tabs and then he can shred. I swear to God, it's insane. But yeah, no, what you're saying makes total sense. Yeah.
It looks so easy when they play, we have a friend comes on, Mickey Lyxx, and I'm telling you, he just takes that guitar and it's just 1, 2, 3. I'm like, how in the world? Eddie Van Halen, but he's times 10 flying high with as fast as he goes. And I'm like, wow, we love Mickey Lyxx. And we use his music. We have permission to use his music on our intro for Front Row Promotions. And it's just amazing how he carries that guitar. So, and then even with regular, I do have an acoustic guitar. I would like to learn, but I'm like, it can't be that difficult because I see 3-year-olds doing it. So if a 3-year-old can do it, I know I
can. Spirit.
Oh my God.
What's that?
You guys know Dave Grohl he was the drummer of Nirvana, and he's the lead singer of the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
There's
He
a
was
quote.
also in Ghost at one point, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like back in the day before the band members like revealed who they were, like way back in the day. I think he played drums, but don't quote me on that. I think it was drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's quoted saying something to the effect of like, you just have to pick up an instrument and suck for a bit. And it's true. Just like,
it's just getting the feel of it, getting it used to, knowing what you do with it and feeling it out, you know.
Yeah. Hand-eye coordination. Just
Yes.
suck.
Yeah. I mean, I've picked up a guitar before. I can't play the damn thing, but damn, it makes me look good. No.
She can twirl a drumstick. See, Kandi control the drumstick.
Yeah, I'm more of a percussionist than anything. And yes, I can twirl that drumstick. Yes, you're right.
You can
All right,
practice.
so Erin, I know you have your guitar in your hands. We had a request before the show, and we mentioned it very briefly on the air. Medusa, one of your albums, I think that was 2018 when it came out. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes. So 2018, Medusa is a very, heartfelt album, and something that really hits close to home for me. And there's a song on that album. It's actually the title track, guys, called Medusa. Do you think we could get treated with a little of that today?
Definitely, yes.
All right, guys. Medusa, Erin Incoherent. Let's hear it.
Sorry, indulge me for 1 second. I redid the strings a couple days ago.
No worries.
They were in tune, but
Oops.
I tuned right before the show too. But sometimes you just gotta make sure the B string likes to jump out. Take a leap back and attack some Xanax next with a tonic and jack. 2-1-8-3, keep your eyes on me. 20 milligrams as usually. Take one for dinner and one for tea. One for the restlessness, conscious sleep, and half from your senses increase. Don't you worry too much, just for me. I'm a master train. It's hitting my face. If you don't mind, feel another good time. Protect, lost the pain. You side destroy me, my love, forevermore. You're the most beautiful thing I will see. Oh, you still turn to stone. Have to regulate serotonin and taste, so I don't lose my mind. I've been beat down, shut around, like a passion. Every time you don't have to tell me twice. Take one for the loneliness, one for the grief. Wanna stop and set again, another sleep. Cause if half my mind is normal, then the rest is disease. And that don't bother me. I'm a master trace, hit my face. You don't mind feeling all the time. Cause I lost the pain. You saw destroy me, my love, forevermore. You're the most beautiful thing I've seen. Oh, when you said turn to stone. And when you said leave me alone.
Medusa, 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 Yes!
Oh my God! The vocals in the background. That's cool. I can hear you.
I told you I like that song.
Man, you're so cool.
I had that planned, by the way.
That's so cool. Oh yeah, no, you were like, please let me do so. I was like, fuck yes.
Medusa, of course. Isn't that amazing? What an amazing song, eh, Lisa?
I love that. Yes, that is really cool.
That is awesome. Awesome.
I'm dancing to it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. That was really cool. Okay, so talk about like your early influences. I mean, you picked up the guitar at a younger age, but besides Green Day, who else, inspired you to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I got into punk rock, I guess when I got into punk rock, I was really inspired by a band called Operation Ivy, and they're like kind of from the same. Do you guys know Op Ivy? I don't want to like explain shit to you that you know, but for the people who
I've heard of them, but like no.
Do you know the punk band Rancid?
Heard of them.
Heard of them? Yeah.
Like, they've had radio hits. They were in that like. Anyway, all that to say, the guy from Rancid, it was his first project, and he wasn't the singer of it, but the guy who was the singer of it, his name's Jesse Michaels, and he's one of the best lyricists ever. He was just very inspiring to me. He was so political, and he was like on the beat. It was almost like kind of the way he pronounces it sounds like a rap because he's just saying it so quickly, and I was just inspired by him. And there was another band called the Distillers that just had a very profound impact on me, and the Distillers was female fronted, so it was kind of like the first like female fronted punk band that I really kind of heard, because a lot of punk music, especially in the 80s, was dominated by like men. It was male dominated, it was white straight men dominated. So just to have like that representation of like, yo, this chick is badass, and she's like, she has this beautiful scream, and she's super harmonious. And again, her lyrics were very captivating to me. So I'd say those are probably two of my heavier influences, like on the punk side, because I'm influenced by punk rock, and the whole subculture kind of raised me. But that being said, I did always, like I said, I listened to indie stuff, melodic stuff. So I was like also inspired by bands like Modest Mouse, or like how I mentioned earlier, Death Cab for Cutie, who were lyrically more poetic, maybe not as political, you know, but just they sang beautifully, and I liked what they had to say. So yeah,
that's cool. That is really cool.
I like that. Yeah,
very cool. Lisa, why don't you take this now? Throw a question for Erin.
I'm going to ask her the CMP question.
Oh, okay. So some fun questions then.
It's going to be a fun question.
Okay, so let's go early. We normally do this in 2 segments. We do like the musical questions and the fun questions. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Coke or Pepsi?
Ooh, so I actually don't drink soda.
Whoa!
But if you had to pick one,
I mean, to me, I guess it tastes the same. I guess I don't care.
Which one looks prettier?
You can make
good question. Which one looks prettier? Don't say it, Lisa.
I'm inclined to say Pepsi, but I don't know if it's Lisa's saying Pepsi to me. Because I like the blue circle.
We have a running joke on this show. We have the longest running joke on this show because she's a Pepsi fan and I'm a Coca-Cola fan. And we rip each other up all the time. You should have seen us on Messenger last night. It was hilarious. The Coca-Cola wars continue.
Yes, because Pepsi's much better.
All right. Well, Lord. Since we're on the fun questions now, Erin, a question I like to ask during this segment. If you were stranded on a deserted island, what 5 items would you want to bring with you?
So does the deserted island already have like food and shelter and water?
Let's assume it does, just this once.
All right, cool. My dog, my guitar. Ooh, I mean, any items? Do I have to own them now?
Anything.
Oh shit. Well, like, I want to say huge zip line.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like fun.
That'd be the perfect place to do that. Yeah.
Or like, I want like a gigantic swing. I love swinging.
Oh, cool.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
The 5th one. The guitar, dog, zip line, giant swing. Oh shit, man.
What kind of swing? Like a trapeze or some sort of like, bondage swing? Like, what are you thinking?
Oh!
My dog will jump. Those like disc swings that they make now.
Yes.
For like multiple kids to sit on or whatever.
Yeah, like the big tire swing, kind of like it's round. And
Yeah.
Yep. One of those.
Told you this ain't a family show.
We can
goes.
add bondage attachments to it, but I need something that my dog can chill with me on. That's not like, it can maybe be converted into something sexual. Well, I guess I'd have to bring somebody to have sex with, and that sounds really objectifying. And I don't really know if I need that kind of fucking drama in my life if I'm on an island with all my needs met. But I don't know what to fucking bring. It's always like the last thing's the hardest. What do I want?
I know, right?
No. What if because then I'm going to make the decision and spend the rest of my life being like, but what about this thing? But you should have picked that thing. And this is hypothetical. I'm like,
man.
Maybe an ATV.
Oh, there you
go. What was that? I didn't hear you.
Like an ATV, but let's say it's like an electric model that doesn't need gasoline.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Tires are invincible, and it lives forever because
awesome.
That's my luck. I'm gonna go to the island and it dies immediately.
Those are good answers. I think I might need to rephrase this question from now on because that was probably the best set of answers we've had.
I like that.
Yeah. Lisa, back to you.
Okay. All right. My question is if you were in a hot tub time machine, set the dial. Where are you going?
Okay. Oh, what's the scene when I arrive? Do I arrive in the hot tub?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of wherever I want to go?
Yeah. You're in that hot tub and boom, you land. Where are you?
That makes it kind of, I mean, I don't want to be too conspicuous, Oh. It's a time machine, so you can't just like go to someone's house right now. That's stupid. Why would you do that? It's a waste of a trip through time.
Yeah.
Is it a one-way trip or do I come back home?
Oh, you can come back home.
Never thought about it like that, but you can come back home. Yeah.
How long? Okay, well, maybe how long do I stay in the place? And this is all stupid because I kind of want to like go see the dinosaurs, but this is like
however long you want.
Yeah, this is your hot tub. You're setting all the dials.
Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe I go to like the prehistoric times.
I would love to see that too.
See if dinosaurs were actually real.
That and also what did it look like?
Yeah.
Wow. It's hard to imagine that they were once here.
In the fucking like, what did the plants look like?
Yeah.
What did the world look like?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All things we ponder about. Like, is this real? Is that real?
Right.
Like,
how did we become all this?
How did those big ass creatures exist millions of years ago?
Yeah.
And then how did we evolve into what we are now? It's just,
It's uncanny when you stop to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take this one step further, though. So you're in that hot tub. You travel back to prehistoric times. Who's in that hot tub with you?
Ooh, yeah.
Who?
How many people do I get to bring, or just one?
As many as you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I mean,
okay. Let's assume the hot tub can only seat like 6 people.
Okay, and I'm one of them, so I have five people I can bring. Okay, can I stop at different places in time and pick these people up and bring them to me?
Hey, you know
that would be cool. Yeah.
Sure,
there you go.
Okay. I want to bring Frida Kahlo. I want to bring probably Salvador Dali. I want to bring I think Freddie Mercury would probably be really cool in that situation. Fuck. This is so good. Who else do I want to bring? Oh man, like who would also like want to party? Maybe I'll bring my homegirl AJ because she's like my ride or die, and she'd probably be really good bringing back in time.
Cool.
So that's one more person.
What was her name?
Huh?
What was her name?
Her name's AJ.
AJ, tuned in. If you're tuned in, thanks for being there for our girl here. We appreciate it.
Yay. Fuck, I don't know the last one. I mean, I don't know, man. It's almost like
You don't have to bring that many. It's just assuming that the hot tub only seats 6 people.
Okay. Well, I'll think about it. I'll keep thinking about it as we
Well, let's say you go back in time and meet some cool people along the way. Maybe you'll snatch one of them up and bring them with you.
Okay.
There you go.
Last
Yeah,
one.
when you get there, you bring them back.
Yeah, whoever I meet.
Bring a dinosaur back. There we go.
Wee. Oh man.
All right. So, Lisa, I'm going to steal a question from you since you stole my Coca-Cola question.
There you go. Go for it.
Yeah. Erin, what is on your bucket list? Like, what's the craziest thing you want to do? Could be musically, it could be something in your personal life. Like, what is at the top of that list for you?
So I guess one of the musical dreams that I have is I think it'd be really cool to be one of the headliners of the festival. You know,
Ooh,
that's very like meaningful for me. It would be cool to go on a. I mean, like I've always wanted to be signed to like a major label, but I kind of have different thoughts about that now with the way that the music industry is and the way that I feel like artists get exploited for their art. And I really, really like what DIY does for art's sake and for the music scene. So I think maybe going on like, even if it's just independently funded, a DIY tour that I can book that's like sold out across the country. That'd be cool.
That would be cool, yes.
Mm-hmm. So those are a couple musical dreams that I have. I did just fulfill one of my musical dreams and lifelong dreams, which is just going to Germany. It was really
Hey.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
We got a lot of friends over in Germany.
Oh yeah?
Well, yeah. We got our girls and boys from Crash Karma. They're very dear to us. And our boys from Accept, they're dear to us. So dear to us.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, all the coolest musicians come from Germany. I mean, look, Scorpions. They're fucking talented.
Mm-hmm.
So we got friends in Germany. That's so cool.
It's so cool.
Yay.
Yes. Mom, I know you're watching. See, my mom, when she's watching, she chimed in. Look at that. Hello, everyone, from my mom.
You did.
Hello.
We do this thing on the show where my mom will snap a picture of the hearts. Do you mind putting up the hearts for us?
Yeah.
Hang on. Let's get this right here. There we go. Mom, go ahead. Awesome. I'm sure she got it. She's pretty quick. All right. So yeah, anybody tuned in, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, put a comment or put a question here for Erin. And if you're tuned in on Facebook, please put your name next to your question, just because StreamYard and Facebook still don't get along. You need to fix that.
You have to give permission to Facebook to use the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, they're weird about that sometimes. Oh, we got another comment. Got it. Yeah, Mom says she got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom as well. Mom is one of our biggest supporters here on the show. And she sponsored us. I have to say this every show because we're just so appreciative of it. She sponsored us to be in Nashville this past March and get this going for us. So we really appreciate that.
Aww. Yay.
Yes. What do you think we take another musical break? I'm thinking maybe a song off your latest album. I heard it. You played it on the radio that one day, the Cole.
I was trying to play it kind of before we started. It's been a long time since I played that song. I don't know if I'd be able to do it justice.
Or really any song off the new album, whatever you feel most comfortable playing, Erin.
Okay. I'll play one. It's called The Edge of September. I've been playing it more so in my rotation, so I think I'm a little bit more comfortable. It's a performance.
Awesome, sure.
I owe you a Cole performance.
Okay.
Next time. Okay. I'll have it practice.
I'm pinning my hope on the edge of September and praying that it's not so far away. Trying to focus and change for the better. Breakdowns cause breakthroughs. I'm reminding each day I feel tired. Where do I go? It's my problem. bubbled up in this thing. It's exciting. And my heart symphony saved the last dance for misery. There must be somewhere else these thoughts would be. Instead of in my head, in my chest, 'cause they're torturing me. Oh yeah, I'm sick to death, sick to death. I'm just trying to be happy. Yeah, I'm the life of the party. I'm telling myself that it can't all be bad days. Someday I'll look back when things make more sense. I'll see myself and through the tears and the heartache, reach out to grab my own heart with two hands, 'cause that's all you're spirit. Or maybe my past just change directions. Either way, it's really real. You can't wait forever, but you can't live really forever. There must be somewhere else it must be. Instead of in my head, in my chest, 'cause they're torturing me. Oh yeah, I'm sick to death, sick to death. I'm just trying to be happy. Yeah, I'm the life of the party. Oh, I tell the truth, there's no reason, 'cause everyone's feeling, no one feels bad, no, nobody's safe. 'Cause if you see what I've seen with emotions like tsunamis, you change your perspective, boy, you never read in vain. And oh, you better act fast, because your youth doesn't last, and so you look back. So I think I will find the edge of September, playing pale sluts far away, trying to focus and change for the better. Breakdowns cause breakthroughs, I'm reminded each day, and so with no one can hear me. My soul will still echo with the wrinkles in time. The place where everything is dancing. They cast a shadow into my desk with our night. Oh man!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is
guys,
lovely.
isn't she
Open your
freaking
eyes,
talented? Seriously.
You guys just doing the hearts. I was like,
I
oh.
know. Isn't she talented, you guys? Oh my gosh. Check out Erin. Tell everybody where they can find you, social media platforms, and your website. Where can everybody find you?
Cool. So if you type in Erin Incoherent, just like my name spelled on the little screen here, anywhere that you search, that you stream your music, or you can find me on Facebook and Instagram most prominently. I have a Twitter. I don't do shit with it. So I have a Snapchat. I don't even think I log into it anymore. So if you are trying to book, I would just go through Facebook or Instagram. I'm pretty responsive. Otherwise, yeah, Spotify, YouTube. I don't even think people use Pandora, Google Play, wherever you listen. Just find Erin Incoherent. It's all there.
Awesome. Guys, definitely check that out. I mean, Medusa, we heard, Edge of September, my goodness, and talented, fucking talented, let me tell you. All right, so we got time for a few more questions, I think. Okay,
What was your first concert?
Yeah.
What was my first concert? When was my first, like, when did I play a concert? Or when did I see a concert first?
When did you see a concert first?
So what, in 2005, it was Green Day. So they were still touring with the American Idiot. What's up? Yeah. And my dad let me like wear his old army battalion shirt and had like a devil on it with like guns in the background. I was so hardcore, and I put all this heavy eyeliner on, and I couldn't even play guitar. I was sitting in the nosebleed seats, and he's like, "Who can play fucking guitar? Who wants to come on stage and play guitar with us?" And I was like raising my hand. My dad's like, "If he picks on you, you're gonna have to go play guitar." And I'm like, "Shut up, Dad!" Like, but then it was so funny. I was so obsessed. So obsessed.
That's so cool. I love it when Lisa asked that question. Because then we get into this whole thing about, well, Lisa's first concert was Alice Cooper, right?
Okay.
My first concert was the Backstreet Boys.
I love this part.
And then I went from Backstreet Boys to listening to all the music that my parents played in the house. Then they showed me Kiss, and that was it.
That was it.
No more pop bubblegum bullshit. Now, hey, you guys are talented, great, but I mean, rock and roll is the way to go, right?
It sure is. From Backstreet Boys.
But there was nothing in between. There was Backstreet Boys, then Kiss. There was nothing.
Boing. Yep, one straight.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're performing, what's the weirdest thing, or maybe the craziest thing that happened to you? Maybe like a weird fan interaction. Is there anything you can share with us?
I mean, one of the first things I think of is there's just like this fucking, she was so drunk, and I'm like playing, there's back line behind me, so there's a drum set on stage, and she just decides she's gonna play the drums for me like mid-set. So she's like creeping behind me on stage while I was playing a song. And I mean, like, I don't even think she got too far into the kit, because like even in the middle of the song I was like, get the fuck off my stage, and like people heard me say it into the microphone, and she like got spooked and jumped off. I think one of the weirdest.
Yeah, fans can do some weird things. Oh my gosh. How do you, so I mean, every show there has to be something that either goes wrong or maybe a string breaks. Has that ever happened to you? And if so, how do you pivot and turn it into magic, so to speak?
I mean, I will say sometimes you just fuck up and it's a bad set and it's a bad show. Sometimes that's the case. But there are times where I have to remind myself, like, unless people are like very dedicated to the music, they won't really be able to tell I fucked up. And I don't like try to ride on that. I want to be able to play it correctly. But I also don't want to tear myself down if I fuck up a string, or if I hit the wrong note, or if it doesn't come out the way. I don't want to get in my head too much about it. So trying to just continue to be present in the performance is kind of how I keep it pivot.
And then you make light of it. Like if you break your G string, oh, well, that's unfortunate.
New opportunities.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Lisa, back to you. We got time for a couple more questions.
What's how am I going to word
it? She's so excited because we have Erin Incoherent on the show. Let's try that again.
I'm like, I can't get myself together here. What's your favorite part about being a musician?
Okay, can I answer this in two ways?
Sure.
Yeah.
So my favorite part about being a musician for myself is, I think, the moment where I am able to transmute my pain into art. Yes. The actual process of creation is probably my favorite part about being a musician for me. But like being a musician as a like social figure or a public figure, or that my favorite part is when people heal something of their own journey with the music, you know, like there nothing really does match that. Like, that's what I'm saying. When before the show and you were telling me about that, like I can't quantify how much that means. I'm grateful that you said that to me, you know, and that the music's connected and brought us together. Like it continues to be my favorite part, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, for those of you wondering what the hell she's talking about off the air, like, guys, I'm pretty vocal about this. I deal with mental health issues day in and day out. I have depression and anxiety, right? And one of the things that heals me every day is music. It really is. And it's one thing to listen to a good, song that makes you want to dance, but it's quite another to connect on a more emotional level. And that's what happened when I met Erin about 5-6 years ago. I remember hearing her on the radio and listening to her music and hearing her talk so openly about her struggles. I'm like, I need to be like that. I need to be like strong like that so I can get through my own shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to make you cry. No. That's not
I like it. No, I've been needing to cry though. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It feels good to release.
But, I really mean that. And definitely get what you're saying about connecting with people on that kind of a level. When you help somebody, it's very healing and refreshing to hear that. I get it totally.
Yeah, so I guess like the same healing. So I guess one of my favorite part about being a musician is the healing. I don't even have to say that it's like from me to other people, you know, because it's like that's the same thing that I just said, I guess.
No, it's okay. It's all good, all good. But yeah, it's just, it means a lot for sure. Let's ask one more fun question, and then we'll get you to plug all your socials and your website again. Here's a new one that I never asked before, or at least not in this show. Let's create your own super group. Okay, so give us a singer, give us a guitar player, give us a bass player, give us.
I like this one.
Damn it! It's a good question. That's why I'm saying, damn it. It's a good question. What, man? There's so many good music.
Okay, sorry. As you're thinking about that, yeah, we need to. Whoever put this comment, please put your name, because yes, that's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. So whoever made that comment, thank you very much.
You're part of the business of the mistresses. So.
Yeah. So when we tell you to do something, you fucking do that shit. When we tell you.
Oh no!
I'm just kidding.
Oh man. Okay, let's start off with Phil Collins as the drummer, and I don't regret that at all.
Good one.
Do you guys know Charles Bradley?
Sounds familiar. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a version of the Black Sabbath song "Changes," arguably more popular than theirs. I'm going through changes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's the singer. Do you guys know? Oh, this is ridiculous. Singer, drummer. Ooh. Can the dude from The Roots be in it? Also, he's in it too.
Okay.
I don't care what he plays. Maybe he just needs to be there.
There you go.
I want to do Afro Man as
hell yeah,
as the two neck guitar, so he can be the guitarist.
That is so funny. Afro Man, wow.
My fucking friends got to play with him once, and I didn't go to the show. I was just like being stupid that night, and I just hate it. Thanks, Scott Matthews.
Yeah, man. We appreciate that. We really do. That's why we do what we do.
Absolutely.
And then I think I kind of want I can't remember his name. I kind of want the guy from Talking Heads to be in it too. And then I feel like I need to round it off with like a really awesome female performer. I'm just kind of struggling to think about who that might be. Maybe Shensea. She's like, yeah. Okay. That was a lot of people. They could be a ska band. I don't care. We'll have just 20 members.
How about a keyboard player? Who would you put on keys?
Oh, bitch. Fucking. Okay. I'll use my hot tub time machine and I'll go get fucking like Bach. And he can be like on organ.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, there you go.
There's your fifth guy.
Yep.
There's your fifth guy that's in that hot tub. There you go.
You can be my date too. How about that? It'll be scandalous.
Hey,
Music.
Awesome. Lisa, anything further from you? Anything on your mind that you want to ask Erin today?
I'm just trying to think. I think we asked her about who would you like to collaborate with?
Ooh.
Have you somebody that you'd like to collaborate with? Yeah.
Like what am I trying to say? Like a famous
Anybody.
artist, or
It could be anybody that you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hard. I mean, Charles Bradley, like I just said. Lily Allen would be cool because she's very sassy. Kendrick Lamar would be super cool. I like. I don't even know, man. The dude from the Shins, because I like the way his heart's broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's good. Good ones. Wow. Wow. Very thought-provoking. I love it. All right. So as we end things off here, again, we already plugged your website, but of course we need to hear it again. Website, socials, lay it on us. Where can everybody find you?
You search Erin Incoherent wherever you stream music, and then look for me on Facebook and Instagram.
Do you have merch for sale?
Yeah.
T-shirts?
So I don't have like a website where you can go to purchase. I think that the vinyl and the CDs for Deja Vu can still be purchased. You can always DM me, but I believe you can also go on houseofrobot.com and find the record and the CD there. I ship wherever. Obviously, if it's out of the States, it's just more expensive for shipping. And then I do have t-shirts. I have 2 different t-shirt designs available. Let me see if you can see this on the...
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
So the black t-shirt design looks like that. And the white one is another kind of surrealist style. My friend Wormtooth designed them, and they're pretty cool. I dyed some of the white ones different colors, so they're kind of like limited edition, special, whatever, limited sizes available, but just
Cool.
DM me for merch.
There we go. That's awesome.
Sounds good.
And
Sounds good.
one final thing that I think is really, really important to talk about. What would you say to somebody who is struggling with mental health, be it depression, anxiety, whatever? They're struggling so much that they're just about ready to give up. What would you tell them?
A couple lessons that have been important for me to listen to. To me, a lesson I need to focus on is anything that I hear or see that's similar within a certain amount of time. And so within the past couple of weeks, the conversation of focus has come up a lot for me, and being able to see what am I focusing on. So when I'm thinking even about my thoughts, trying to create space between the thought and the reaction. What am I focusing on? How things can go bad, how things can go differently. When I'm in a place that's kind of beyond maybe being able to think myself rationally out of the black and white, one of the other lessons that's been very important to focus on has been grace. If I'm feeling very suicidal, maybe today's not the best day to do the mental tennis match. Maybe today's the best day to give myself some grace and say, I'm really going through it right now. I really need to keep myself safe. What does that look like today? Does that look like making sure I get some sunshine with my dog in the park? You know, does that look like maybe not picking up the guitar, not trying to force myself to do anything creative today? But when I'd say give myself grace, that means I'm letting myself off the hook for having these feelings. And I'm not going to keep guilting myself about whatever pressures I think I'm falling short of. Instead, I'm going to say, today I need my love, and I, show up how I can. So grace and focus are the 2 lessons that have been important to me lately, and hopefully those will resonate with other people who might be in a bad place.
That's amazing. We love that.
Yeah.
Lots of love. My goodness.
Lots of love for you too.
That's amazing. All right, guys. So we are pretty much out of time. Lisa, anything further from you?
I have one more question. If what advice would you give to someone that is looking to do what you do, like with playing the guitar and singing and the whole business? What advice would you give them?
So I mean, if you're gonna do what I do, where you play by yourself and you play acoustic, I am going to tell you to not take it personally if people don't want you to play their stages. Don't take it personally if you don't get the emails back. Don't take it personally if you feel like there's not space for you here. Instead, lean into your power. Know that no's and rejection is going to be a part of your journey, and still love what you do. Don't feel like you have to sacrifice what you feel called to do to fit the mold of what other people want. What people want changes all the time. If you're not who they're listening to 6 months ago, maybe 6 months from now, or, but also don't lose yourself in the journey of trying to please other people or make your art a business. Because as soon as you start really making money on something, you start feeling like I have to show up for these people in this way. This is what they're expecting. And you kind of create limitations, feeling like you have to present what people want to see or what they're going to buy. So I think a good way to remain honest with your art is to continue to treat it like sacred art. You know, this is not just for consumption, for streams or views or likes. This is for my enjoyment. I'm good enough to do this. I like doing this. Just kind of keeping that attitude and really enjoying the opportunities that it provides you to connect with people. Like, don't take shit for granted. You know, I guess that's what I would say. All of that shit. It's important.
Absolutely.
That's very important. Amazing. Thank you for that. We really appreciate it. Alrighty. Well, it is unfortunately time to say goodbye. I mean, that's kind of sad, but we want to thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you for allowing me to connect with you and the music. And thank you for coming onto the show today to share your story. We absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
I feel so much lighter after this. This was a great night. Thank you so much.
Aww. We love you.
All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Lisa. She's going to put a bow on it. Erin, if you don't mind, just stay logged in for a moment after we go off the air, if that's cool.
Okay. Sounds good.
All righty. I want to thank everybody for coming to Mistress Business. Thank you, Erin. You've been a beautiful pleasure having on the show. And we just love you. And we love to hear your stories. And we love your music. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you, everybody out there coming to Mistress Business. Thank you for watching our show, because anything goes here. You never know what you're going to hear, and it's always good. So
it's always good and positive.
Yes, and positive.
Really quick, what I would say to those of you who are struggling out there, in addition to what Erin said, because I think it's very important and very, something to keep in mind for sure. But one thing that I always say, and I learned this from actually my divine beast, Armageddon, that we heard from earlier, he always says that the night is always darker right before dawn. And I think that resonates with me just so much as well. So I wanted to share that with you guys.
There you go. Absolutely.
All right, Lisa Lou, go ahead and put a bow on it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And thank you, Erin. We love you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Erin, Kandi, and Mistress Lisa. Tuning out. Bye, everyone.